Hey guys, Gabba here, and we're back again. Today we're taking a look at how to make these sceneries slash missions that I've played a few of for Explain. Um, and I use the program Overlay Editor. I like it quite a lot for doing these kind of simple things. If you want to do airports and kind of more detailed sceneries, I'd recommend using World Editor. It's probably the best software out for that. But Overlay Editor is great for just adding down, simple objects and kind of making your own story with it. So this is kind of how to get started. Now, first things first, I would recommend getting a few object sceneries or object libraries. First one being Rescue X right here, because they have a bunch of cars, they have wrecked cars, they have um, emergency vehicles, they have helipads, they have a lot of good stuff. Um, so definitely get that if you want to make kind of emergency rescue type scenarios. And the other one is Swiss Creations, right? Swiss Creations right here. They have a bunch of trees, but that is not really. This is what it's all about. These helipads. They have these helipads that are meant to be stuck on mountains that you can go and land on rocks. You can stick to the side of a mountain. So that's kind of what this is. They've got some different objects that you can do some sling loading with. Might have seen these in a few videos because they are quite good for that. Alright, so to get started, if you have those sceneries, that's great. They're going to help you out a lot, for sure. So I'll just do a simple something mission for Bella Coola, of course. Always do Bella Coola. So the first thing you want to do is come up to go to airport. And if you have the ICAO code, click over here on something and then just type the ICAO quite quickly, right? So ICAO code for Bella Coola is Charlie Yankee Bravo Delta. So there we go. Bella Coola comes up and just click OK. It's going to start loading some stuff. It's going to load the terrain. Now, if it gives you errors, it's probably going to give you an error here in a second about how it can't read Explain 11 airport data files. It's got one here. I can't see it right now. But there's a error that it can't load the Explain 11 app data files. But it seems to figure it out anyways, even though I don't have Explain 10 installed, it seems to not be an issue. So, but if you have Explain 10 installed, that's great. You can just do it in the Explain 10 kind of library, and then you can, from there on, move it over to Explain 11. So here we are. So we got the airport here, got Bella Coola. Now, if you want to do for Bella Coola, I like to come up here and go background imagery. Just do Bing. Bing seems pretty good. And you can scroll the opacity all the way up. Turn it down a little bit if you just want to kind of get a general idea of whereabouts you want your different stuff, but you don't use photo scenery. But if you have photo scenery enabled, or here at Bella Coola, where it's all based on orthophotos, it's really handy to have this orthophoto on, because that way you can see exactly where everything is like it does in the simulator. Alright, so to just make a simple something mission, go up here, new scenery, name the scenery, so we'll do test. And here, right here, so here it goes, cat load, default airport data. Okay, and it seems to work fine anyways. So we'll, there we go, now it's created it. So we'll do something, let's say, in a field down here. We can do kind of a mission with some vehicles, I think. So we'll do find Rescue X. There we go, and we'll just look through what cars do we want. These are all in German, and I'm not very good at German, so I just look at the picture that comes up down here. We got a crashed car. That looks good. I might have crashed into a pole, right? I don't know if the pole is actually there in Explain, but we'll just say it is for the sake of it. And of course, we've also got police cars. I can handle Polizei. And of course to turn, sorry, I just did a whole lot without telling you. So to place down object, you want to hit the enter key. You want to select it out here, select where you want, and then hit the enter key. Not the numpad enter, just the normal enter. And it's going to create it. To delete it, you can just press delete when you have it highlighted. To rotate them, you hit Q and E to rotate, and it rotates around the small kind of center red cross that you've got here. So that fits pretty well if you have a police car there. Might have, what do we have? Do we have any ambulances? Should have some ambulances somewhere. Might be some German guy out there just yelling at me. I think I've gone past emergency vehicles. It might be further down. Oh, here we go. Right, Bayern, of course. Got an ambulance. Now this is all, of course, also German vehicles, which kind of sucks. But you can also make your own objects fairly easily. It requires having a bit of 3D modeling knowledge, but I wouldn't write it off completely. I didn't have much 3D modeling knowledge, and I've done a couple of different things. So yeah, that's pretty good. We even got some different tiles. We'll do with those, and maybe a fire truck as a first responder, and get that one. There we go. And then you've got a small scene. There we go. So that's pretty good for making a small scene, roadside accident, something like that. Now, if you want to make kind of a helipad in the mountains, we've got a mountain up here. So let's say we just want to place down a helipad somewhere, you know, like here. But there's, of course, forest. Now, I'll get to that in a second, where we'll kind of test here. I like this this one, the kind of homemade out of wood, out of trees. Pretty cool. And then you just want to kind of rotate it where you think the hill goes. This might take a couple of testing, because a bit of testing, because you might have to go into explain and fiddle around with or have a look at what angle the hillside is. But there you go. Let's say we got a helipad here. But now I know that it's actually in the forest here. So if we don't want to have it in the forest. Now this might not work because this is a custom scenery, but what you can do is you can come up here and we can go to exclusions, and then you can draw an exclusion zone that excludes forest, right? So that way you can should be able to drag these corners out. Yes, you can. That way you can exclude forest, so even if there's, you know, trees here, you can place this exclusion zone down, and then there won't be any trees within this square. That's quite nice. A handy little trick. So yeah, that's pretty much kind of the basics of using overlay editor. To then save the scenery and get it into explain, all you do is you hit save this scenery package, and then it's done. Now, if you did it in explain 10, then you just have to move the scenery package over to your explain 11 custom scenery, of course. But other than that, that's pretty much it. So let's jump in game in explain 11 and have a look at what we've made. Alright, so we're just coming up on the scene that we created with overlay editor. Should be just over here in this field, and indeed it is, and there is a pole. Of course there is, because this scenery is great. So this is what you make in overlay editor. This is what you can make, and quite easily as well. Pretty simple. Emergency vehicles, first responders, and everything is great. Alright, so I hope you guys have enjoyed that short video, just explaining overlay editor and explaining how to use it. And if you guys would like to see how to make your own objects for your own kind of scenery, I'd be more than happy to to show you a really good method to do that. So let me know if you'd like to do that, to see that. Alright, so until the next video guys, take care.